Hello, everyone. I'm live, and I am so excited to be here because I'm going raw right now. I'm going to go raw for just a little bit. Here you go. Are you ready? So are you buckled up? What do they say? Saddle up, buttercup, or one of those cliches? Because this is the truth. The truth is, when you have horses and you have a mission, the subtle art of not giving a crap what other people think kind of flies out the window. And the reason I'm saying this, and I just kind of came in, I was like, look, I'm covered in hay and dirt. I was like, I'm not gonna. This is gonna be my third shower today, and I wonder. It's like, what do people think I do all day? And I know what I do all day, but a lot of times it's not always the case. Where people like, I have a lot of people go, oh, she's got horses. She's in Florida. She's got a nice place. She's doing thing. She must be. No, y'all. No, not even close. I've been, they say an overnight success, and I'm telling you, I've been working on some stuff that I'm getting ready to launch that I'm really excited about. But I get up at about, so let me just give you a rundown of my day. And I'm not angry, but I'm intense right now for a reason. Because like I'm sitting here, like I'm sweaty, and this ain't gym, guys. This is dirt and sweat and grit. Because I'm out here working with these rescued horses. If you saw my reel earlier this morning, little Peaches, she's so sweet and she's so trying so hard to, my heart is just so cracked open for these animals that I love so much. And we do this for our kids. I don't have like human children, but these are my kids, and I don't care if they're my horses or if they're someone else's horses. Like, this is my heart. So let me give you a rundown of my day. Around I'm up usually between 3:30 and 4, and then when I do that, I'm like, I say I connect to source, and I get out of bed. I'm up, I'm out. And then I do my journal. I do a rundown of my day. I go through my social media, make sure all my comments are done. I don't have a virtual assistant. I don't have like hands-on help until just recently. And I've been doing this like pretty much by myself for 13 years. I had a really devastating divorce in 2013 where I woke up to a Facebook message. I'll never forget it. It was Super Bowl Sunday. I woke up to a Facebook message to find out from a strange woman something very unsavory about my husband. And I wish it had been cheating. That would have been much easier. But it turned out he was doing some not so awesome things with other people's money. And he ended up going to federal prison, leaving me like broke, homeless, and scared and waiting tables at 40. So I was like, you know what? I could have gone and got that job at Disney and started that corporate pathway and all the things and stuff and worked at Animal Kingdom. And I could have taken that route, which probably would have kept me connected to my father, who hasn't spoken to me in 13 years. And yeah, this is a little bit of a rant, but not really, because I know that there's people out there that have been through a lot too. And I have compassion for you and empathy, and I understand because I've been there. And although yours might be same poop, different pile, right? But yours might be that your kids won't talk to you, or mine is where my father won't talk to me, but it doesn't matter, right? But I really want to share this with you because, I'm up and I'm going from pretty much 4 a.m. till 9, 10 o'clock at night, pretty much every single day. Now, there are days where I'm just like, all right, 7:30, I'm out, yo, but it's because I've been going extra hard. And I've been working with this little horse. Her name is Peaches, and she's at Royal Blessings Rescue, where I am in Central Florida, with one of the most beautiful souls I've met in a very long time. Her name is Anne. And yeah, Anne, sorry if I'm throwing you under my social media bus, but here we are. It's for the first time and probably in a very long time, I don't want to quantify the years, I feel like there is some support, right? And when I've reached out to people for help, it's been not because, give me your money or give me your thing. It's been out of desperation for the survival of the mission. And it's been a lot of times out of fear. And when you're coming out of fear, you're coming away from source, and you're coming away from God and creator, right? When you're looking at fear, you're turning away from faith. And whether it's the faith in yourself, your belief in yourself, which for a long time, if you guys watch that, I don't know, you want to stalk me a little there, for a long time, I would finish my videos with, and believe in yourself, it will change your life. And then I stopped for a while because I had really walked that fine line of not believing in myself and really wondering and worrying about what other people were thinking and why I wasn't making progress. And, my overhead was massive and my situation had become untenable. And I'm like, something's got to give. And it was this close to being me. But when you get to a place in your life where you have to take a hard look at your soul, you got to go, you know what? I know, living in South Florida and Wellington and a nice bougie community. And I mean, a very nice, beautiful community. But you live in a place like that and you have horses and, you look like me and, I'm not, terribly hard on the eyes, I don't think. And you go like, oh my God, I can only imagine that people don't really truly understand what it is I do all day and how hard I'm working to make this mission like come to fruition. And I rhymed there. And then really kind of bringing that joy back into it. So there was some dark night of the soul that came as a result of that facing fear, and not facing my fear, but facing into fear and letting it draw me in. And I look at poor little Peaches, who I was working with this morning, and I'm like, honey, I'm going to be right here with you, and this is not going away until it gets up, it gets better. Like, that's just it. So I look at that and I'm like, what in the world can I do that I can go, you know what? I got to look in myself. I have to look in deep. And I think it's important, this will be my third shower today. I did a reel today, which is God, like that. I'd rather pull my eyeball out, but I did a reel. I mean, doing the videos is easy. For some people, that's the hard part, like getting in front of the camera and speaking and saying something interesting, important, and being clever and funny. Like, that's not hard for me. Like, this here, just put this up there. I'm like, I got you. What do you want me to talk about? I can talk about so many different topics, but when it comes to, okay, now take that and chop it up and put it into something, like, and sit in front of the computer, my eyes start to cross, but I had to learn how to do it. Otherwise, my mission would die with me. Otherwise, the women that are coming to my mastermind in September wouldn't get the full force of me. They wouldn't know I existed. So I got up and I did that. I get up in the morning. The first thing I do is I walk outside and get hit in the face with a wet towel because it's so effing humid, right at sunrise. I'm up. So I've already been up for about 2.5 hours working on projects. Right now I'm working on my like really enhancing a major offer for my mastermind in September. But ladies, if you're listening, I'm running a mastermind in September. But like running the mastermind, doing the videos, writing the emails, preparing the copy, doing the landing pages, following up with the emails, replying to the text, creating the Canva, doing the flyers for the volunteer meet and greet this Sunday, meeting with people that are interested in talking about it, making the sales, following up with the sales. Oh, making sure I eat. Oh, feed the horses. Oh, make sure their pens are clean. Oh, Maverick's hooves have thrush. So I've got to go take care of that. All of these things like take up my day. And like, feeding the horses, I'm on a decent sized property. So walking back, getting them, packing stuff, that takes me a solid hour in the morning, and then coming back, getting them, and then come in, shower, make sure I have my coffee, make sure I have my mastermind call with my accountability buddy. And then I get on the computer and I start working. Then I have a training at 9:30 to 11, and then I come back in and I'm back on the computer. Then I go back out and take a second because my eyes are crossing, and I go back out and I play with one of the rescue horses, or I take care of one of my horses, and then I come back in, right? And then I come back in, I'm back on the computer, and I'm doing I'm on a phone call trying to make a sale, and I'm following up with a sale, or I'm doing emails, or I'm creating a fundraiser in PayPal. I'm doing another post on social media. I'm trying to figure out what the heck LinkedIn is, and then now by that time it's time to feed again. And oh, heaven forbid I have to like go to the grocery store or run to town or do anything like that. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Does anybody else feel like this, where, you're just like grinding and doing and hustling and moving? Well, I'm telling you guys, I am finding and discovering and learning a much better way. And Grant Cardone talks about 10x, how to 10x yourself. And you got to keep the plate spinning. But when you're over here keeping that plate spinning to 10x what you're doing, and you really have to flush the idea about giving a crap about what anybody thinks. And you have to forgive yourself for the judgment that you're having for yourself about holding yourself back. I said your health a lot there. By holding your own self back because you're worried about the fact that people are going to think that you're on daddy's trust fund. Like people, I don't have, you guys, I did this by myself. I did this, starting out as a waitress at 40, homeless, living with my former personal assistant, waiting tables. I started this mission. I kept my one horse. I started with one horse, waiting tables, living with my assistant. And that was 2013. My brother died of a drug overdose. My father disowned me. I was homeless. I was broke. I was facing a huge hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax debt. I had so much weighing on me. And I had an offer. I had jobs offered to me. I went and worked for Tony Robbins. I went and worked for the big guy. And I said, you know what? If I work half as hard for myself as I'm working for Tony, I'll make it. I'll make it. And so I thanked Tony for his offer. I quit my job. I turned down an offer to work at Animal Kingdom, to work with a friend of mine and work with the gazelles and zebras. I mean, wouldn't that be a dream job? But I sat there for a moment before I said yes. And I said, I just couldn't visualize myself in those khaki shorts and that little polo shirt with a name badge that said Jen Disney, and parking in that hot asphalt parking lot a million miles away and riding the tram and I couldn't do it. And I looked at my horse, my white horse, my Trace, and my Dante, who I had lost for a brief period of time. My ex-husband took him from me for a period of time, or he ended up with my ex-husband. I shouldn't say that, took. And I got him back, which is a whole brilliant story. How I got Dante back was really pretty cool. But it took getting Dante back from my ex took me allowing someone to really judge me harshly. And I've been judged harshly a lot in my life, for being too blonde, for having too big of boobs, for being too bubbly, for being too needy, too asky, too pushy, too salesy, too demanding, too extroverted, too short, too smart, too talkative, and yelled at and put down and shamed and called psycho. My ex-boyfriend, he called me psycho all the time, gaslight me, abuse me physically, emotionally, in the bedroom, psychologically. And coming back from that and going, you know what? I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. And it's because of moments like I had this morning and last night with horses like Little Peaches and horses like Tuesday and people like you who've experienced my programs, who've seen something that I've done and have liked it or been inspired by me. When I lost my little miniature horse, Little Stu, the letters poured in about where they saw me at a demo. People I never knew. I've flown on planes where the people sitting next to me knew me from seeing me on a TV show or watching me on some, video somewhere. I've had people write me from prison. I'm having an impact, you guys. And I'm not saying this to impress you about me. I'm saying I don't care what the naysayers think. I don't care if you think that all I do all day is, play princess and pony and are sitting on a trust fund, because I'm not. My father doesn't speak to me, and he has lots of money, and he has hundreds of acres of land that he lets total strangers put their horses on, that he's then going to donate to the state of Missouri, to the government, rather than give it to his daughter, who's on a mission to save horses and change lives and help people understand themselves and their relationships and have fun doing it and having joy in the process. I'm not saying this because I'm like, bitch, because I'm covered in hay and taking my third shower. I'm saying this because I think that there's a lot of people out there that think that because I'm where I am, it should be easy. And so they don't do it. Or they think that it's too hard because they see that I'm doing a lot, or that so they don't do it, or someone that they admire, they don't do it. It doesn't matter what label you put on it. Put the joy in your heart and stop worrying about what other people think. I think one of the things that happens with social media is that we get into the point where we're seeing David Goggins run 200 miles, so we think we have to. Jen Hall feeding and taking care of 5 horses and impacting thousands. Tony Robbins on stage, changing the world in his own way. And then Joe Dispenza meditating for 16 hours. All these different people doing their own thing, their own way, and not giving a flying beep about what other people think. They're just in their lane and they're going 90 miles an hour with no distractions, because a distraction from God's purpose for you is worse than the biggest waste of time. It's a distraction is not action. A distraction is a turning away from God's purpose for you. So I'm shedding the distractions and I'm rebuilding the walls that will help other people climb up and stand up for themselves and understand who they are and choose their path. I hate the phrase choose your hard. That's such a bold, such a garbage phrase for me. Don't choose your hard. Choose your joy and share that. Yeah, I smell really bad. Stand up wind from me right now. Yeah, I'm in a bleached out shirt and a sports bra I've worn for the third day in a row. But I chose to. And I chose to be here because this is the where God, source, creator, universe, whatever your belief system is, I know what mine is, has led me to serve. And yeah, some days are harder than others, but they're only hard when I look at it from the perspective, thank you, Michael, perfect word, from the perspective that I'm coming from a space of fear, lack, and scarcity. I'm focusing on what I can't control. And I'm looking at the past mistakes I've made and not releasing and forgiving them so I can trust myself to connect to source. Because I'm telling you, that little horse Peaches is teaching me so much about myself, because I'm in the same boat. I'm right there with you, Peaches. I'm right there. There's that Juicy Peach. I love her name. Her Juicy Peach just hanging there ripe, like ready to be plucked. And I'm this close from just plucking it and having like a sticky face and the juiciest, yummiest peach on the planet. And that's what I am for her. I'm that Juicy Peach, because I'm telling her every day when I go out there, just like source, when you can connect to a horse, you can connect to source. When you can connect to source, you can channel that through you. I'm channeling source to that little horse. And I'm like, you can trust me, my friend. You can trust me. I am here for you. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. And then I look in the mirror and I say the same thing to myself. And one of the things I learned from Alex Hormozy, I see his reels all the time. I just went to his event last weekend where he sold like $100 million worth of his books and broke records. Amazing accomplishment. What a creative, unbelievable, creative genius way to subversively break a record. And it makes me think of a thing I did in grade school where I had to put out a birthday candle with a mousetrap that was 10 feet away. And I did it like easily. And it was like, there's always an answer. There's always a way when you can open your heart and your mind to source. So stop giving a crap about what anybody thinks about what you want to do and what your mission is about. Because what anybody else thinks, all that is a crab trying to pull you back down into the bucket and keep you from your soul's purpose and keep you from aligning to God and looking into the light and having full faith and confidence that you can show up consistently and show up with a positive attitude to come in and go, I will, I am. And this is my shirt say, I am. This is inspired by my friend Lauren Lahav. She has these beautiful cards where you go, you draw a card and then not one of them says, not one of her cards says, I am afraid, or I am tired, or I am worried, or I am anxious, or I'm fearful. No, I am powerful. I am loving. I am kind. I am connected. I'm guided. And what if the pain or any of the fear that you're feeling, all it was like, oh, let's go this way instead of going into it. Turn away from the fear and turn into faith. Turn away from the fear and turn into your own heart and your belief system about what you're trying to do. Yeah, amen, Michael. Me too. Me too. I am ready too. And I'm here. I'm just outside Ocala, Florida, at a beautiful horse rescue, operated by one of the most beautiful souls I've met in a very, very long time. And we're doing good work here, guys. She has rescued horses, she has sanctuaried horses, and she has a huge heart to serve God's source and horse. There you go. Serving God's source and horse. There you go. That should be on a t-shirt. But I would love for you, if you are interested in getting involved with anything that I'm doing, understanding personalities, think disc profile with horses, understanding self, connecting with horses, connecting with you so you can serve and not sell and hustle. This t-shirts that say spiritual hustler. What the heck is that? Stop the grind, stop the hustle, start the serve. Stop the hope and start the belief. Believe, don't hope. Serve, don't sell. Align, don't hustle. Now that should be on a t-shirt. I am aligning. And the more I align, the more joy in my heart that I have, the more energy I have in my body. And the more I want to do each and every day to connect with each and every one of you so I can share with you the power that horses have. Because I believe it's Energen. This is our mantra. I believe that everyone deserves to have a life-changing experience with a horse that uplifts the social consciousness of both entities and maintains the dignity of the animal. Preach! I'm not preaching. I'm just telling truth. I'm just telling truth. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. I've got a lot of things coming down the pipe. The self-discovery challenge is coming up October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. My calendar is going to be published out here pretty soon. October 1, 2, 3. We're going to do some really amazing things with horses. It's going to be a free event live with me in the horses. I'm going to introduce you to some of the rescues. Got some live events going on in person here in Ocala. And I've got some virtual ones that will really blow your mind, knock your socks off, and change your life. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And I am saying it again with a bigger, deeper, more open-hearted belief that I've ever had in my life. Believe in yourself. It will change your life. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. I don't know if it's